Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shauna from Created and Made, and today I'm going to show you guys how I made all of these beautiful, colorful prints using just one thin, reusable foam printing plate. Fun stuff ahead. Stay tuned. One thin, fun stuff ahead. So jumping right in, we're going to be using today these Presto foam printing plates. Now they come in a set of 100 and they're really reasonably priced. They're reusable. So jumping right in, and what we're going to do, we're going to, in a set of 100 or emboss some designs onto these plates. Now you can do this by hand, and that's the first way that I'm going to show you guys how to do it. You can make impressions by hand. Now that literally means by hand. I'm going to take this ballpoint pen that I have off to the side, and I'm going to use it to draw my design into the foam plate. Now this foam plate is soft, but it is durable. It is designed for printing. Now it is a little on the inexpensive side. They have ones that are a little better quality that cost a little more, but I think just for beginner's sake, this is a great set to use. Now I'm pressing down kind of hard with my ballpoint pen just to transfer this image into the foam, and it's really simple, really easy. I am just going really quickly through this, and as you will see when I lift this up, this whole design will be transferred into the foam. Now before I start printing on the foam, I'm going to set this up for printing. Now this is just the method I use. I use a gel plate because I like kind of the softness of it, and I am masking it off with some tape so that I can line my print up when I take my foam plate and go ahead and print on top of it. So I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to then get my ink set up. Now I am using black printing and ink. And this is different from acrylic paint in that it is stickier. There's my little checklist there. The viscosity is really high. It's very thick, it's viscous, it is sticky, and it has a longer open time. What that means is that the paint will stay wet longer, which means you can take more print than you would be able to using acrylic paint. Now, can you use acrylic? What that means is that, but you won't be able to take a bunch of prints in a row, and your paint will start to dry a lot quicker than this block printing ink will. This ink is by Speedball, and I will drop a link in the description. Now I am printing on top of that is a piece of acrylic plastic that I have sitting on top of the gel plate. I'm not actually printing on the gel plate, even though it looks like I am. It is a piece of acrylic that I got for cheap sitting at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just rolling out that ink so that I can get a nice even layer on my brayer. Now see, there is my piece of foam that I used the ballpoint pen to imprint into, and as I add this ink, you can see just how well that design transferred into that foam. Now I'm trying to get a real thin, even layer of paint, you can see, onto the printing foam, and I just want even coverage. And I'm going to go ahead and take my background that I have printed out. I did some by hand and I printed some, and I'm going to put it down. I put a piece of paper over it, and I'm burnishing it with this is a Baron. You can get a Baron. It's just a flat surface that you can use to make sure you're getting even pressure and coverage all over the printing plate. And I'm going to pull this up, and as you can see, look how well that foam printing plate transferred. Now the difference between this foam printing plate and a gel plate is that you can keep inking up these foam plates over and over and over again and continue to get the same design on different backgrounds. So this can be useful when you're trying to make a set of things, a series of things, or you just want to get some different impressions using different backgrounds. As you can see, that looks very different than the one I pulled at first because I use a different background. Now you can keep going with this. These plates are very thin, but they hold up pretty well, and you can get yourself a nice number of prints. You can keep going before it kind of starts to be too covered with paint. But the good thing about this block printing ink is that you can wash it off with water, so it is water soluble. And as you can see, I'm taking some nice little ghost prints even at the end on my graph paper. Just this ink has a pretty long open time, so you can continue to pull prints over and over again. It will stay open for a bit, so you have to give it some time to dry, and make sure that you don't, set anything on top of it because it is kind of sticky. And I'm just showing you the plate. You can put it off to the side, you can store it because you can use that plate again. Now this is off to the side method of transferring a design. I don't know what I was thinking when I printed this out, because transferring this design took forever. And I ended up changing from a black pen to a blue pen to a stylus because my hand was getting tired. But as you can see, it transferred onto the foam really, really well, and it's reusable. I can save it, right? I can bring it back out and use it again and again, because it really ended up being a pretty impactful pattern. And even though it took forever, I really like the way that the prints came out that I made using that design. So I'm going to actually pull a number of prints. I'm going to use, as you saw, I did the by hand method, transferring the designs by hand, tracing a design by hand. And the next way I'm going to show you guys how to do it by hand. I'm just pulling a few prints with this design because I really liked it. But the next way you can do it by hand is actually just freehanding it, right? Just making whatever comes to mind. I'm etching into mine with a what is that? A bone folder, right? You can use a stylus, a bone folder, a fork. You can use whatever will make an impression. You can use a stylus. Now I'm just making up this design off the top of my head, and now I'm going to take it to the plate and print with it. So you can make whatever design that you want. Making up this design, as long as you can etch it into that plate with it, you can print it. So and it ends up looking really cool. I'm just making up this design off the top of my head with the design is, and how in the sort of now I'm just making up this design because I'm just scratching into a plate, but I'm off the top of my head with transfer this design over and over and over again onto whatever sort of clean it comes out like, because so just scratching into a plate, but I'm able to trace it, or you can draw it yourself and onto whatever sort of clean it. I'm actually going to going to show you guys how scratching into a plate, but I'm able to transfer this design embossing method. Now yourself, you'll need some sort of embossing machine. Scratching into a plate. This is machine embossed impressions, right? This is the second way that you can get your designs onto the foam. You need some sort of embossing. I have a Sizzix Big Shot Plus. I think maybe I had the real big one, but this is one of the Tim Holtz 3D texture fades, and I just embossed the foam like I would a regular piece of paper. And now, as you can see, you can print with your embossing folder designs over and over and over again. And this actually is not an embossing folder, it's a piece of a mesh bag, but you can run it through the embossing machine onto the foam just like you would with a folder. Now I got myself a new piece of acrylic there off to the side, but can you imagine, just think of the possibilities of all the things. If it can fit in your embossing machine, then you can transfer it onto this foam plate and just take all the prints your heart desires, right? That looks like a fishing net. it's just really interesting how that came out. And as you can see, I'm taking another print because you can keep going with these. Now, when you store them, you kind of want to give the paint a chance to dry, and then you can store them, like you would your embossing folders or whatever your other sort of texture printing plates that you have. Now, this one was, as I just showed you, some metal ribbon stuff that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I always wanted to print with it, but it has some sharp edges, so I didn't really know how it would work out. Now, you can do a Play-Doh print with this, but you can also run this through your embossing machine, and you can get it to transfer to the foam plate. And so you can take a number of impressions over and over and transfer this unique metal design onto some print. Now, I'm using black block printing ink. They come in several colors. Speedball has a set, and like an intro set that has like all the primary colors in black. I got some white block printing ink from Hobby Lobby. I just, for consistency's sake and for the demo sake, I'm using black, but you can use other colors. You can mix your own colors as well. Now, this is this mesh ribbon stuff that I've been seeing all over lately. And again, I ran this through my embossing machine, and you're going to see how well this design transferred onto this plate. And you can sort of emboss different sections of the ribbon to get different sort of impressions on your plate. But look at how well that came out. I really like this pattern and how it ended up looking once I transferred it over. And this is just, I was having a little fun with this, and I had a I'm going to show it to you in a second. I had what are these things called? The palm leaves that they have it for in Easter decor at Hobby Lobby right now, and I ran it through my Sizzix and embossed it onto a foam plate, and look at that, that's really cool. I think that came out really well. Now, this one, I think might be the last one. Is this the last one? It is a piece of lace that, again, I ran through my embossing machine, was able to get the impression to transfer over to the foam plate. And again, you can imagine the possibilities when you're able to use your lace and ribbon, and look at that texture. You get every little bit of that texture to transfer over, and now you can just print with it over and over and over, and you can print with it today, tomorrow, and next week, because these plates are reusable. Look at that, you guys. I'm so excited. That really came out well. So here we go. This is our recap. I mean, you didn't see me make all of these prints. I did a few other designs that I did not include. But as you can see, there's so much potential with these plates. There's so many ways that you can use them to transfer your patterns and stretch your supplies and really go to town doing multiple prints. So let me know what you guys think. Which one was your favorite? I think my favorites were the ones that took forever. These here, I really enjoyed how they came out. So I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please go ahead and leave a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope to see you guys next time, and in the meantime, keep creating and making. Bye bye. Before you go, check out this next video. I think you might enjoy it. Have a good day. Bye bye.